Dominic Gibbs, Cage Steel. I'm joined by Lubomir Guedjev. Good?
That's correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so we thought we'd just hook up today, talk about the partnership between ourselves and you guys for the upcoming Cage Steel Bulgaria, Cage Steel 35. Literally everywhere I'm going, people are saying, "How did that come about? Why Bulgaria? What?" You know, they kind of can't comprehend, and so I then have to go into this spiel of us and yourselves. So I thought, it'd be a good thing to kind of introduce you guys. So you guys are part of LG Sports and Entertainment, is that correct?
Correct, yes.
So the idea is that we do a joint venture between Cage Steel and LG Sports and Entertainment. Now, do you want to give us a quick brief about yourself or your kind of company? We obviously call you Lubo. Is that okay to call you Lubo?
Lubo,
yeah,
it's lot. Lubomir Guedjev, aka Lubo. Very excited to be part of this joint venture. Brief background on myself. I spent 25 years in the combat sports industry. I've done almost everything. I was the head judge for ADCC for a number of years. I'm a former MMA fighter, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, third degree black belt. I have my own academy. I spent 17 years in Abu Dhabi, where I managed the sports projects with Jiu-Jitsu for the Royal Family. And in the time, back in the day, between 2005 and 2011, I was in Bulgaria, where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA were still not known. So I pretty much introduced these two disciplines in Bulgaria, and I was responsible for a lot of the competitions in that period. And then in 2011, I went back to Abu Dhabi. I was involved in the Jiu-Jitsu project, which is massive over there, and I returned in 2021. So upon my return, I obviously took the deed of organizing events. So one of my main objectives is to sort of put Bulgaria on the map in the martial arts industry, not just as producing fighters, which we've always had like any other country. You know, people are training, people are doing competitions, but I specifically wanted to bring foreign brands just to introduce something outside of our region of the Balkans, to make it more entertaining, more exciting, and obviously create partnerships, because I strongly believe that we cannot achieve enough ourselves, like working independently. Without collaborations, everyone is more or less limited. So yeah, that was my objective.
Cool. And obviously that kind of sums up of why we did it, like the motivation behind us going over to Bulgaria. I think we'd been talking for a while. You've got a company called Fight Scout, which, you know, we're kind of pushing everywhere, which has been, I think it's amazing for the industry. So we'd been knowing each other for quite a while. I think we mentioned Cage Steel Bulgaria a long time ago, and it was maybe a little bit tongue-in-cheek, and then it kind of came about and we got talking, and it was like the motivation for going to Bulgaria is, from my point of view, is because we've got an amazing contact in yourselves. There's so much to doing an international show that you kind of alleviate those problems for us. You know, there's kind of locals. If I think about someone coming to England and trying to do a show and thinking about the councils and the, you know, all the kind of red tape they've got to get through, we don't know any of that. We don't know what's going to be hitting us from the international. We don't know how it operates kind of at a local level, who you've kind of got to make sure that you're on the side of, and all those kind of little things. So for us, it was just a kind of great opportunity to team up with someone who's got that experience. They're in that area, and you know, you can do some of the groundwork for us, and you can also enlighten us on the cultures and the kind of red tape or issues that we're going to hit. So obviously you've said yourself, you know, setting up partnerships, making Bulgaria this combat sport place Is that your like whole motivation there, or is there other things as well?
Well, it's obviously it's a mixture of factors. Probably the leading one here is Fight Scout, as you very well mentioned. That is the mobile app, which is our main business. As we grew for the last year, our team has expanded, and the application has expanded its users, and its overall footprint in the martial art industry is getting better. So there is an obvious synergy between events and the app. Now, if I were to take the conventional path of creating our own brand of events, then that would be a direct competition of our customers or potential customers.
Yeah.
Which is why I deliberately avoid creating our own brand. That is, I would say, factor number one. Factor number two would be in Bulgaria, being a small Balkan mentality country, people tend to relate or not relate with other local organizations. So if I were to have my own brand, although I'm in very good relationship with everyone else in the industry, there's always the feeling that, oh, this is this guy event, but this is my event. So there's always that hidden sort of competition, and I wanted to avoid that. I wanted to avoid it by bringing foreign brands so that nobody would relate the event to me, my name, or our organization. But they will see it as a foreign brand stepping in Bulgaria. And then that opens the door for all clubs and all participants to join. And we leave that risk of people not associating with the event just because they related with a name that they don't want to be part of for. And then lastly, Bulgaria is an interesting place geographically and culturally. We stand between Asia and Europe, sort of, so it's very convenient for people from different places to travel. We're still less regulated, so it's easier to do activities, especially ones in our field, and it's still relatively cheaper than other European countries, which I believe at the current state is a very good mixture of elements that make that make such an idea sound like a viable business plan, not just a one-time activity.
Yeah. I mean, people have obviously raised that with us. They kind of put Bulgaria as the poorest European country, and they're kind of like, oh, you're going to like the poorest European country, you know, why are you doing that? I think, as you said there, you're surrounded by so many different countries with lots of different fighters, you know, there's kind of fans out there. Bulgaria is a very interesting place, you know, from our point of view. We looked at it, like exactly said, historically, culturally. There's so many kind of exciting things for us. So when we kind of feel that taking on what you said is kind of the buzz of Bulgaria with combat sports, is that the fans, you know, they out there, they kind of love this stuff. So yeah, do you want to kind of expand on that a little bit?
Well, yes, not only Bulgaria, our whole Eastern European bloc here, typically people enjoy martial arts. I suppose it's to a certain extent related with culture, but in addition to that, the level at which sport was developed during the communist era left that general, I would say, a feeling of respect towards someone who does martial arts. Sports, all kind of sports, but towards martial arts, the general public has that level of respect towards everyone who does combat sports. So if I were to compare it to, let's say, Sweden or Germany or any of these developed, rich states of Europe, the general public there finds a lot of our sports as being violent, and they stand against it. You know, and you can very often hear negative comments towards what we do, right? But when I came back from Abu Dhabi, I even had that reservation towards doing events, just because I also didn't think it's a very good future for myself, because I was a manager there. I started seeing myself more as, you know, that kind of figure, not a coach or just an organizer of events. But once I saw how people treat everyone that teaches kids, jiu-jitsu, karate, you know, boxing, wrestling, people respect coaches. Almost every family tries to put his kid in some sort of martial art. So culturally, like I said, not just in Bulgaria, in all the Eastern Bloc countries, people respect that. People like it, people appreciate it, and they understand it's not just a bunch of violent folks gathered to express violence and hurt each other. There's a lot of training and planning in this. So yeah, I think that makes us a good place and to do something like this. But I would not put Bulgaria in any way as being different to, let's say, Serbia, Croatia, Romania, Greece, or Turkey. We're all similar in that people enjoy fighting, and there's a large fan base, and there are lots of activities happening. So I think connecting the two worlds, you up north, you know, being a developed sort of, in the conventional sense of the word, a developed country, stepping in the poorest state, obviously Bulgaria is poor from an economic European kind of angle, but not in the sense of being a poor country. And once you visit, you will see that there are no signs of us being poor, other than, you know, few holes on the road.
Yeah, to be fair, it was the hardest, like saying to your people, say to us, you know, it's the poorest country, you know, like everything that I've seen is like people just measuring that by kind of financials, you know, monetary terms. And, you know, I think Bob Marley said, possession make you rich. You know, it's not always about like what someone's got, because it's usually what the bankers have got, not what the people have got anyway. So, you know,
Yeah.
I've obviously looked at a few things online, some YouTube stuff, some people that have been traveling. I've been amazed by the people. There's some young kids on one of the YouTube channels that I watched, and they were just so amazing, like really nice, so grateful for someone being in their country. I thought, we as a team, we really can't wait to come and visit, set things up, you know, and then obviously do the show there and be able to come and share the history and the culture there. So it's, you know, thank you so much for teaming up with us and giving us this opportunity. We are so grateful, and like I said, we can't wait to kind of get there and actually meet these people. So
but we're really thrilled about this opportunity as well. And I think what you brought up, not that this was our intention, it's not on top of our head, but it will also be good for people to come over and see exactly what does the poorest state, as the European Union puts it, entails, you know, because like I said, if we judge by some economic factors that these countries use to categorize states, these are things that in no way represent the way of living in our countries. And you would be surprised, but every foreigner that visits Bulgaria is shocked to see the way we live. I mean, nightclubs and restaurants and coffee shops are packed all the time. There's a lot of luxury cars on the streets, plenty of luxury things in general, because there's always people that have more, you know, money. So it's not a poor state in the sense that when you come here and there is nothing, you know, it's actually a very interesting country, and we live like rich people, you know, compared to a lot of developed countries, because I've traveled a lot and I have friends, and people in the developed countries are not either they lost it somewhere down the road, but they don't live like us. We're out every night. We gather with friends. Weekends are packed. So no signs of poor.
Like I said, before this call, I were excited. Some of the marketing team sat around doing some filming, trying to judge whether they don't look as excited as I am. But having had this call now, I'm like ultra excited. I can't wait to get out there and see the culture, meet the people. I think it's going to be amazing.
You guys will love it.
But I have to ask you this, Lubo, because this is one of the things I saw online, and they do say don't believe everything you see on the internet or on YouTube, and definitely not on BBC. So they said this. They said in Bulgaria, this means no, and this means yes.
That's correct. Yes.
Whoa, that's going to get us in trouble.
Although more and more I see that especially people in the capital here in Sofia are getting used to the regular, let's call it, reaction. But the story goes that when we were under the Turkish or Ottoman Empire, which was almost 500 years, they would put a plate under your throat and ask you if you want to live. So you would answer yes, moving sideways to avoid the plate.
Wow.
That's the official narrative why we say yes like this and no like this. Which, to tell you honestly, I've also kind of forgotten because I've lived abroad for so many years that they use the regular nods, but you would go into a coffee shop and ask if they have salad, and then they go this, and then you keep asking, they say yes to everything, but you think it's a no. So, yeah.
It was interesting because I asked that question and you said that's correct, but you said it as, so you've obviously travelled a lot and kind of lost. Yeah. So who knows what anyone say? I think we stick to yes and no.
Exactly.
So yeah, listen, there's so much that we want to learn about your country. We can't wait to come. As I said, we can't wait to actually meet you in person. We never met you in person. So that'll be interesting. Have a look at what's going on there. But we want to just say a thank you for, number one, giving up your time today to come on this call so that we can kind of show people what's happening. But for linking up with us all in your team, you've all been amazing so far. So I'm sure this is going to be a great partnership, and we can't wait to kind of progress it.
Yeah, something else you said earlier, it got me thinking. When you try to make events outside of your territory, let's call it, you very well said it's very challenging, especially stepping into a different country. It's probably one of the most challenging things because there's so much you don't know about the dynamics of that country and its specifics. And you got me thinking how rare someone who owns a brand in their country would partner up with someone that has another brand in a different country, and they decide to do a co-branding event or co-event. I mean, that is rare in our industry, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically because everyone is focused on what they do and they're trying to maximize their achievements. Whereas my personal philosophy is combat sports, one of the sports that build different character. They teach us how to interact with your colleagues, with other people that practice martial arts. We have a different connection. There is a strong bond there, right? Anywhere you go in the world, you enter into a Muay Thai gym or MMA, judo, wrestling, whatever, and you do that sport, you bond with these people right away because we try to inflict pain on each other. So that's a different sort of relationship. Yet very few promoters join forces to do something long term.
Yeah.
Right? There's always that economical incentive behind that needs to be there for them to do it. Like, if I give you money or if you make money, then let's do it. But if not, they don't. So I suppose somewhere in the back of my mind, that's another motivation for me. You know, I want to live by the Bushido code. I want to express everything that the martial arts have taught us, how it should be done in the real world. You know, sportsmanship and dedication and commitment and all these values. Where are the values if you're not trying to work with someone else,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing.
Somewhere in the back of my head, I just want to show people, man, let's do it. Let's work together. Why the first topic must be money? Why the most important thing must be money?
Yeah.
There is always money where you do something with love, which is the factor that made us want to work with you guys, because what you do, it shows, not that I've spoken to you, but everything that you do shows that you're putting a lot of love into this. You care about the sport, you care about the fighters. We don't get the feeling that you guys are commercial establishment in the sense of money driven
No.
brand. And so when we have this feeling of someone doing something great which helps the industry, well, why not work together?
Yeah.
Right?
Perfect. Lubo, thank you so much. We will catch up in the few days or so, but yeah, it's amazing. So thank you so much.
We're very excited. We hope you like it, and the audience and the fans of Cage Steel would experience something interesting, something more exciting, and hopefully that will be a long-term relationship.
Dead right.